Well, hello, music lovers and musicians alike. My name is Dwight Haber, and welcome to the first ever episode of The Light Underground. So for today's review, I decided to go to a band from Barrie, Ontario by the name of the Starving Artists. Their EP is called Little Lighting EP. It's a 3-track EP. A little background on these gentlemen. There are four by the name of Tim Parker on guitars. We have Jesse Muldoon, I hope I got that right, lead vocals and guitars. We have Neil Maber, drums and backing vocals, and Mr. Terry Ross playing bass. So as I said, these guys have released six albums, if you will, the final one being an EP. I believe the first two were done in small shops, one of them that doesn't even exist anymore in Barrie. And the consecutive four were done, I believe, in Neil's little studio, which I think is called Big Drums. Loud Drums Studio in Barrie. So my first impressions, I'm going to start with the tracks. So there's 3 tracks on here, Agnes, Martin, and Wander Out. Agnes has got this really cool kind of like Them Bonesy, Alice in Chains, vibe that mixes kind of good with, I would say it's got a little bit more of that twangy rock, maybe a little bit lighter. I would say it's got a Jerry Cantrell seal of approval on it. The second track, though, the follow-up, which surprised me because it starts off really light. It's called Martin. It starts off super soft, and then it gets progressively heavier. It's a very short song, but the build-up on it is exquisite. I mean, you get a really strong range of dynamics. Following to the last track, which is called Wander Out, which is the longest one on their EP, and it just has a great mix of the 2 songs before and really finalizes the rest of the EP. I'd say that it's really hard to record a 3-track EP and expect a heavy amount of dynamics. I think what these guys did is achieve that by keeping the dynamics relatively stable. There's not a lot of change, like aggressive change. There's light, there's ups and downs, I find, but it's a very smooth flow throughout. So that in itself creates a little bit of dynamic because, you're limited, when you limit your range, you have to use what you got to kind of create it. Well, limit your space, not range. You can tell these guys did not limit their space at all, or the range. Their space is what it was. They kept it short, but this is to follow up on a 7th EP, or a 7th album release that they're working on at this point. So I would suggest checking out Little Lighting to get a really good feel of these guys. They're really, really cool sounding guys. I've really just enjoyed listening to these guys nonstop for the past couple days. That's it. So please check out the Starving Artists. Stay tuned for a show that they have. Let me just verify. It'd be at the Coldwater. We'll be in Coldwater at a bar called Autumn's. It's on Saturday, January 12th. And they'll be having a CD party, a release party sometime in the new year for us to get excited and to check them out. That's it for episode 1. Thank you guys all for watching. The song that you've been listening to throughout was Agnes. I mentioned it earlier. Stay tuned for episode 2, where I review Pilcrow's album. I believe it is called Fever Dreams. I'm really excited for that. Peace out!